When you buy an SUV, you expect it to last 200,000 miles if you're lucky, but not every model holds up. Some are plagued by weak engines, fragile transmissions, and cheap interiors that start crumbling long before the odometer hits six figures. Today, we're counting down 12 SUVs with the shortest lifespan, ones that usually fail before 100,000 miles. Number 12. Jeep Compass, 2014. The Jeep Compass entered the compact SUV market aiming to blend Jeep's rugged DNA with budget-friendly pricing. Competing with the Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, and Ford Escape, it promised adventurous looks at an affordable cost. Unfortunately, its longevity fell far short of rivals. The exterior carried Jeep's signature 7-slot grille, squared wheel arches, and utilitarian styling. While updates refreshed the headlights and bumpers, its design couldn't hide its cheap build quality. Owners reported rust spots and paint fading within just a few years. Under the hood, a 2.0-liter four-cylinder produced 158 horsepower and 141 pound-feet of torque, struggling to move the SUV's weight. A larger 2.4-liter option delivered 172 horsepower, but both were paired with a problematic continuously variable transmission, CVT. That CVT was notorious for overheating, shuddering, and failing around the 70,000-mile mark, often costing thousands to replace. Trim levels ranged from Sport and Latitude to Limited. Higher trims added leather upholstery, upgraded speakers, and touchscreen infotainment. Yet, the technology lagged behind competitors, and frequent electrical issues left owners frustrated. Inside, the Compass seated 5 but thinly padded seats and low-quality plastics wore down quickly. Cargo space was adequate, but cabin noise and vibrations made long drives uncomfortable. Fuel economy came in at 23 miles per gallon city and 30 miles per gallon highway, which was decent for its class. Pricing was attractive, starting under $20,000, but resale values plummeted as used buyers' new repair bills were inevitable. The Jeep Compass looked adventurous but struggled to survive daily commutes. Most owners found themselves facing costly transmission failures before ever reaching 100,000 miles. Number 11. Dodge Journey, 2013. Positioned as a midsize SUV with 3-row seating, the Dodge Journey seemed like an affordable family hauler competing with the Ford Explorer, Toyota Highlander, and Chevrolet Traverse. But its bargain price came with a short shelf life. On the outside, the Journey wore Dodge's boxy, aggressive styling, with crosshair grills and large fenders. It looked tough but aged quickly, with reports of peeling clear coats and easily dented panels. Engine choices included a weak 2.4-liter four-cylinder with 173 horsepower or a more capable 3.6-liter Pentastar 5.6 producing 283 horsepower. Unfortunately, both were mated to transmissions prone to failure, particularly the 4-speed automatic in base models. Owners often faced breakdowns before 90,000 miles. Trim levels spanned from the base SE to XT and Crew, offering upgrades like leather seating, a large touchscreen, and rear entertainment. But the electronics were infamous for glitches, screens freezing, sensors failing, and air conditioning cutting out. Inside, the Journey was roomy, with flexible seating and clever storage solutions. However, cheap plastics, squeaky panels, and premature wear plagued the interior. Seats sagged, fabrics tore, and steering components wore out faster than expected. Fuel economy was unimpressive. The four-cylinder delivered 19 miles per gallon city and 26 miles per gallon highway, while the V6 dropped even lower. Initial pricing hovered around $20,000, appealing to budget-conscious families, but resale values sank drastically. Though marketed as a budget-friendly family SUV, the Dodge Journey rarely made it past 100,000 miles without major repairs. Owners soon discovered its low purchase price was offset by high maintenance costs. Number 10. Chevrolet Equinox, 2011. When the second-generation Chevrolet Equinox launched, it promised to take on the Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4 with more style and space. While its modern design and features impressed early buyers, its reliability record fell apart quickly. The exterior carried sharp lines, a prominent grille, and projector-style headlights. It looked upscale for its class, but rust-prone panels and cheaply applied paint didn't age well. Power came from a 2.4-liter four-cylinder producing 182 horsepower, or a 3.0-liter V6 with 264 horsepower. The four-cylinder's Achilles heel was excessive oil consumption. Many engines failed before 100,000 miles due to low oil pressure. The six-speed automatic also suffered from harsh shifts and premature failure. Chevy offered trims ranging from LS and LT to LTZ, with premium audio, leather seating, and a larger touchscreen available. While attractive on paper, frequent electrical gremlins, dead batteries, malfunctioning sensors, and failing infotainment systems frustrated owners. The cabin offered generous space with sliding rear seats and good cargo capacity. Yet thin seat padding and rattling dashboards made long-term ownership unpleasant. Interior materials degraded quickly, leading to sagging headliners and peeling trim. Fuel economy stood at 22 miles per gallon city and 32 miles per gallon highway for the four-cylinder, but real-world numbers were often worse. Pricing started near $23,000, but resale value collapsed as reliability issues became widely known. Though stylish and family-friendly, the 2011 Chevrolet Equinox became infamous for oil-burning engines and failing transmissions, often giving up well before the 100,000-mile milestone. Number 9. Ford Explorer, 2004. The Ford Explorer was once America's best-selling SUV, defining the midsize category. But by the mid-2000s, reliability concerns tarnished its reputation. Competing with the Chevy Trailblazer, Jeep Grand Cherokee, and Toyota 4Runner, the Explorer offered size and comfort, but longevity wasn't its strength. Styling updates gave the Explorer a bolder grille, integrated bumpers, and larger headlights. It looked rugged, but build quality suffered. Owners reported corrosion, bubbling paint, and body squeaks within a few years. Under the hood, Ford offered multiple engines: a 4.0-liter V6 with 210 horsepower and a 4.6-liter V8 producing 239 horsepower. Unfortunately, both were linked to a 5-speed automatic transmission notorious for early failure. Timing chain issues with the V6 often required costly repairs before 100,000 miles. Trim levels included XLS, XLT, Eddie Bauer, and Limited, adding luxuries like premium sound systems, leather seating, and optional DVD players. But electrical systems proved fragile, with window regulators, sensors, and dashboard electronics frequently breaking down. Inside, the Explorer seated up to 7, with fold-flat third-row seats and a roomy cabin. However, cheap plastics cracked, seat leather wore thin, and squeaks multiplied as mileage climbed. Fuel economy lagged behind rivals, averaging 14 miles per gallon city and 20 miles per gallon highway. Pricing started in the mid-20s, but depreciation was steep, as buyers avoided used Explorers due to their poor track record. The 2004 Ford Explorer was roomy and capable, but plagued by engine, transmission, and build quality issues. Many didn't make it past 90,000 miles without major work, leaving owners with hefty repair bills. Number 8. GMC Acadia, 2008. When GMC introduced the Acadia, it aimed to deliver a family-friendly midsize SUV with 3 rows of seating, competing against the Honda Pilot, Toyota Highlander, and Ford Flex. Stylish on the surface, the first-generation Acadia quickly developed a reputation for poor durability. Its exterior design leaned on GMC's professional-grade image, with a bold grille, wide stance, and chrome accents. It looked upscale, but the paint quality and body integrity disappointed. Many owners complained about early rust and failing liftgates. The 2008 model offered a 3.6-liter V6 engine producing 275 horsepower and 251 pound-feet of torque paired with a 6-speed automatic. On paper, it had the right balance of power and efficiency, but in practice, the engine suffered from stretched timing chains. Replacing them often cost thousands, and many units failed well before 100,000 miles. The transmission was also notorious for slipping and early breakdowns. Trim levels range from SLE and SLT to Denali, offering leather interiors, upgraded sound systems, and navigation. While features impressed families, the electronics frequently malfunctioned. Owners reported dead touchscreens, failing sensors, and weak HVAC systems. Inside, the Acadia offered spacious 3-row seating, making it a popular choice for large families. Cargo space was generous, but seat cushions wore down quickly and interior plastics cracked. Cabin noise was also a common complaint as mileage climbed. Fuel economy averaged 16 miles per gallon city and 23 miles per gallon highway. With a starting price, around $30,000, it positioned itself in the premium bracket. But resale values nosedived as reliability issues became widespread. The 2008 GMC Acadia promised space and comfort, but was burdened by severe engine and transmission flaws. Few survived to 100,000 miles without major and expensive repairs. Number 7. Nissan Pathfinder, 2005. The mid-2005 Nissan Pathfinder was built to compete with rugged midsize SUVs like the Toyota 4Runner, Ford Explorer, and Jeep Grand Cherokee. It offered V6 power and family utility, but reliability shortcomings made it a risky choice. From the outside, the 2005 Pathfinder carried a muscular design with squared-off lines, flared fenders, and a traditional SUV stance. It projected toughness but struggled to deliver it long-term. The base engine was a 4.0-liter V6, producing 266 horsepower and 288 pound-feet of torque. While strong for towing and acceleration, it suffered from a serious design flaw. A poorly engineered radiator allowed coolant to leak into the transmission, causing catastrophic failures often before 90,000 miles. Repair costs ran into the thousands, leaving many Pathfinders sidelined early. Trim levels included XE, SE, and LE, with leather seating, navigation, and premium audio available at higher levels. But electrical gremlins plagued the SUV. Faulty sensors, failing fuel gauges, and shorted wiring harnesses were frequent headaches. Inside, the Pathfinder offered 3 rows of seating. It was roomy, but quality was lacking. Seat cushions flattened, interior panels rattled, and dashboard plastics cracked under sun exposure. Fuel economy stood at 15 miles per gallon city and 21 miles per gallon highway, low even for its class. Pricing began in the mid-20s, but resale value collapsed as the transmission defect became widely known. The 2005 Nissan Pathfinder looked tough and capable, but was undone by one of the most infamous transmission issues in SUV history. Many didn't live to see 100,000 miles on the road. Number 6. Jeep Liberty, 2007. Slotting between the Wrangler and the Grand Cherokee, the Jeep Liberty was marketed as a compact SUV with off-road capability and family appeal. Competing with the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V, it offered rugged styling and Jeep branding. But longevity was not its strong point. The 2007 Liberty featured a squared, utilitarian design with Jeep's traditional 7-slot grille and round headlights. It looked adventurous, but body rust, failing paint, and cheap trim gave it a short lifespan. Engine options included a 3.7-liter V6, producing 210 horsepower and 235 pound-feet of torque. While capable, the engine was thirsty and prone to valve and cylinder head issues. The 4-speed automatic transmission often developed slipping and overheating problems, frequently failing before 100,000 miles. Jeep offered trims such as Sport, Latitude, and Limited. Higher trims featured leather seats, chrome accents, and navigation systems. However, electrical systems were fragile, with windows and door, locks failing regularly. Inside, the Liberty seated 5. Its upright design provided good visibility, but rear legroom was cramped. The interior materials felt cheap, and seats sagged over time. Wind and road noise added to driver fatigue, making it less comfortable than rivals. Fuel economy was poor at 16 miles per gallon city and 22 miles per gallon highway. Pricing started around $22,000, but depreciation was steep. By the time owners tried to sell, values had tanked due to reliability concerns. The 2007 Jeep Liberty captured Jeep's rugged image but lacked durability. With chronic engine and transmission failures, it became one of the least dependable SUVs of its era. Number 5. Kia Sorento, 2012. The 2012 Kia Sorento was a mid-size crossover competing against the Honda Pilot, Toyota Highlander, and Ford Edge. It promised value, style, and practicality, but beneath the surface, reliability issues kept it from going the distance. The exterior styling was modern, featuring Kia's signature tiger nose grille, sleek headlights, and a contemporary profile. It looked far more upscale than earlier Sorento models. Under the hood, buyers could choose between a 2.4-liter four-cylinder, producing 191 horsepower, and a 3.5-liter V6 with 276 horsepower. Both engines, however, were plagued by serious problems. The four-cylinder was known for catastrophic engine failures due to bearing wear, while the V6 suffered from timing chain tensioner issues. Many engines gave out well before 100,000 miles. Trim levels included LX, EX, and SX, offering options like leather upholstery, premium audio, and advanced infotainment. While appealing, many electronic systems failed prematurely, from backup cameras to navigation. Inside, the Sorento provided seating for 5 to 7 passengers, with decent cargo space and attractive cabin design. Unfortunately, low-grade plastic scratched easily and seat cushions deteriorated quickly. Noise insulation was also lacking, making highway travel less refined. Fuel economy stood at 20 miles per gallon city and 26 miles per gallon highway for the four-cylinder, with the V6 slightly lower. Pricing started around $23,000, making it affordable, but resale value plummeted as engine defects became common knowledge. The 2012 Kia Sorento combined style and features, but lacked the durability of its competitors. For many owners, a blown engine meant the end of the road before 100,000 miles. Number 4. Chrysler Aspen, 2007. The Chrysler Aspen was introduced as Chrysler's answer to the full-size SUV market, aiming to rival the Chevy Tahoe, Ford Expedition, and GMC Yukon. Marketed as a premium family hauler, it promised luxury and towing power, but delivered disappointing long-term reliability. From the outside, the Aspen looked upscale, featuring Chrysler's winged grille, chrome accents, and bold proportions. It shared much of its platform with the Dodge Durango, but added a more refined appearance. Despite its polished look, its body panels and trim pieces were prone to warping and early corrosion. Powertrain options included a 4.7-liter V8 with 235 horsepower and a 5.7-liter Hemi Phi 8 producing 335 horsepower. While powerful, both engines developed issues. The smaller V8 struggled with oil sludge buildup, while the HEMI frequently suffered from dropped valve seats. Transmission problems were also widespread, leading to costly failures before the 100,000-mile mark. Trim levels ranged from base limited to fully loaded versions with leather seating, navigation, and rear seat entertainment. Features were impressive for the price, but the electronic systems were fragile. Owners complained of malfunctioning sensors, faulty climate control units, and endless dashboard warning lights. Inside, the Aspen provided 3-row seating, wood accents, and upscale materials. However, the interior aged poorly, leather cracked, trim peeled, and components rattled after just a few years. Fuel economy was a weakness, averaging 13 miles per gallon city and 18 miles per gallon highway. With pricing starting around $31,000, it seemed like a bargain compared to luxury SUVs. Unfortunately, resale values sank as buyers learned about its mechanical troubles. The 2007 Chrysler Aspen promised luxury and towing capacity but lacked the durability to sustain it. Many examples were retired early due to catastrophic engine and transmission problems. Number 3. Land Rover Freelander, 2003. When Land Rover launched the Freelander, it was marketed as a smaller, affordable entry into the luxury SUV world. Competing against the BMW X3 and Lexus RX, it brought Land Rover's off-road heritage to a compact package. Sadly, it turned into one of the least reliable SUVs of its era. The exterior had traditional Land Rover styling, with a rugged stance, clamshell hood, and upright greenhouse. It looked adventurous, but corrosion and trim failures became common as it aged. The Freelander came with a 2.5-liter V6 engine making 174 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed automatic. While performance was adequate, the engine suffered from blown head gaskets, overheating, and frequent coolant leaks. Transmission problems were equally severe, with many owners facing total failures before 80,000 miles. Trim levels included SE, HSE, and special editions with leather seating, sunroofs, and premium sound. While luxurious at launch, electrical failures plagued the SUV. Malfunctioning windows, dead radios, and failing climate systems were frequent complaints. Inside, the Freelander seated 5 with decent comfort and a practical layout. Unfortunately, interior materials were cheap for the segment. Plastics cracked, fabrics wore thin, and water leaks from the sunroof were common. Fuel economy stood at 17 miles per gallon city and 21 miles per gallon highway, unimpressive for a compact SUV. With prices starting around $26,000, it lured buyers who wanted the Land Rover badge. But resale value collapsed as the Freelander's reliability became notorious worldwide. The 2003 Land Rover Freelander embodied luxury on the surface, but was crippled by engine and transmission failures. Few survived long enough to pass 100,000 miles. Number 2. Mitsubishi Endeavor, 2004. The Mitsubishi Endeavor was a mid-size SUV designed to give Mitsubishi a foothold in the US market against competitors like the Honda Pilot, Ford Explorer, and Toyota Highlander. It offered bold styling and decent space, but its reliability record proved disastrous. The Endeavor's exterior featured a chunky, angular design with aggressive headlights and a broad stance. It looked modern for the early 2000s but lacked refinement, and paint durability issues left many examples faded or peeling within a decade. Power came from a 3.8-liter V6, delivering 215 horsepower and 250 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 4-speed automatic. While the engine provided decent low-end torque, it was plagued by oil leaks, head gasket failures, and cooling issues. The transmission, meanwhile, was underbuilt for the SUV's weight, leading to early breakdowns. Trim levels included LS, XLS, and Limited, offering features like leather interiors, upgraded audio, and navigation. Unfortunately, the electronics were far from reliable. Owners reported failing dashboards, erratic gauges, and malfunctioning HVAC controls. Inside, the Endeavor seated 5 comfortably with a large cargo area. Cabin materials, however, were cheap and wore down quickly. Cracked dashboards, sagging upholstery, and squeaks became the norm as mileage climbed. Fuel economy was 15 miles per gallon city and 21 miles per gallon highway, uncompetitive even in its time. Pricing started around $25,000, but resale value collapsed as Mitsubishi withdrew from the US market's mainstream SUV segment. The 2004 Mitsubishi Endeavor looked like a strong competitor at launch but quickly became one of the least durable SUVs on the market, rarely lasting to 100,000 miles without expensive repairs. Number 1. Cadillac SRX, 2010. At the top of this list is the Cadillac SRX, a luxury mid-size SUV marketed to rival the Lexus RX, BMW X5, and Mercedes-Benz M-Class. It offered style, comfort, and technology, but its mechanical fragility made it one of the shortest-lived SUVs of its generation. The 2010 SRX featured Cadillac's sharp, angular design language with a bold chrome grille, vertical headlights, and a sleek crossover silhouette. It looked modern and upscale, yet many owners found its build quality didn't match its price tag. Engine options included a 3.0-liter V6, producing 265 horsepower, and a turbocharged 2.8-liter V6 with 300 horsepower. Both engines suffered from serious reliability issues. The naturally aspirated V6 was known for timing chain failures, while the turbocharged model was plagued by overheating, oil leaks, and catastrophic engine damage. The 6-speed automatic transmission was equally unreliable, often failing before 100,000 miles. Trim levels range from luxury to performance collection, with leather seating, panoramic sunroofs, Bose audio, and navigation while lavishly equipped electrical gremlins plagued the SUV. Malfunctioning infotainment systems, failing sensors, and dead batteries were constant complaints. Inside, the SRX offered 2-row seating with premium materials and upscale design. Cabin comfort was solid, but durability was lacking. Leather cracked, trim peeled, and electronics wore out quickly. Fuel economy was 18 miles per gallon city and 25 miles per gallon highway, respectable for its class. Pricing started around $34,000, placing it firmly in the luxury bracket. But resale values plummeted as buyers avoided the SRX due to its reputation for costly breakdowns. The 2010 Cadillac SRX was stylish and well-equipped, but fatally flawed under the hood. Its engines and transmissions often gave out before 100,000 miles, making it the shortest-lived SUV on this list. And there you have it, the 12 SUVs with the shortest lifespan, vehicles that too often fail before reaching 100,000 miles. If you're shopping for a used SUV, these are the models to approach with caution. Which one shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the world of cars.